You're listening to the CyberWire Network, powered by N2K.
Most security conferences talk about Zero Trust. Zero Trust World puts you inside. This is a hands-on cybersecurity event designed for practitioners who want real skills, not just theory. You'll take part in live hacking labs where you'll attack real environments, see how modern threats actually work, and learn how to stop them before they turn into incidents. But Zero Trust World is more than labs. You'll also experience expert-led sessions, practical case studies, and technical deep dives focused on real-world implementation. Whether you're blue team, red team, or responsible for securing an entire organization, the content is built to be immediately useful. You'll earn CPE credits, connect with peers across the industry, and leave with strategies you can put into action right away. Join us March 4th through the 6th in Orlando, Florida. Register now at ztw.com and take your Zero Trust strategy from theory to execution. Authorities pursue Black Basta. British authorities launch a new national service to fight fraud and cybercrime. LinkedIn private messages get infected with rats. PDF Cider is a stealthy backdoor targeting Fortune 100 companies. Researchers uncover a new malicious extension that intentionally crashes the browser. Ingram Micro discloses a ransomware-related data breach. A Jordanian man pleads guilty to selling stolen access to corporate networks. We got our business breakdown. Tim Starks from Cyberscoop discusses Sean Planke's renomination to lead CISA. And grave oversight in the funeral biz. It's Tuesday, January 20th, 2026. I'm Dave Bittner, and this is your CyberWire Intel Briefing. Thanks for joining us here today. It's great to have you with us, as always. Ukrainian and German authorities have identified 2 Ukrainian nationals suspected of working for the Russia-linked ransomware group Black Basta and have placed the group's alleged Russian leader on an international wanted list. Officials say Black Basta has operated since at least 2022, extorting hundreds of organizations worldwide and causing hundreds of millions of dollars in damage. The 2 suspects, operating from western Ukraine, allegedly focused on breaching networks and cracking stolen password hashes to enable ransomware attacks. Investigators seized digital devices and cryptocurrency during searches, and analysis is ongoing. Germany identified the suspected ringleader as 36-year-old Russian national Oleg Nefedov, accused of leading the group's operations and ransom negotiations. Authorities believe he is in Russia. Leaked internal chats previously exposed Black Basta's structure and possible ties to the Conti and Ryuk ransomware networks. British authorities have formally launched Report Fraud, a new national service designed to transform how victims of fraud and cybercrime report incidents and how police act on that information. Led by the City of London Police, the system replaces Action Fraud, which faced years of criticism for poor outcomes and lack of victim feedback. Report Fraud provides a single national reporting portal, promises follow-up updates when reports contribute to investigations, and uses real-time analytics to generate actionable intelligence. Officials say fraud now accounts for roughly half of all recorded crime in the UK and costs the economy billions annually. A national awareness campaign aims to drive reporting at scale, while new analytics and closer cooperation with technology and telecoms firms are expected to help disrupt criminal operations more effectively. A phishing campaign delivering malware through private messages on LinkedIn is abusing legitimate open-source tools to infect victims with a remote access Trojan, according to researchers at ReliaQuest. Analysts say the operation targets high-value individuals, including executives and IT administrators, using industry-themed lures to build trust. Victims receive a malicious link leading to a WinRAR self-extracting archive that installs a legitimate PDF reader alongside a disguised malicious DLL. That DLL is loaded through DLL sideloading, helping the malware evade detection. Attackers then use an open-source penetration testing tool to maintain persistence, steal data, escalate privileges, and move laterally. ReliaQuest warns the campaign highlights how social media remains an overlooked attack surface and urges organizations to apply email-level scrutiny, training, and controls to platforms like LinkedIn. A malvertising campaign has been caught distributing a fake browser extension called NextShield, posing as a privacy-focused ad blocker for Chrome and Edge to deliver malware through a new click-fix variant dubbed CrashFix. Researchers at Huntress say the extension deliberately crashes the browser by exhausting system resources, creating a real denial-of-service condition. When users restart their browser, NextShield displays a fake security warning that instructs them to run copied commands in Windows command prompt. That action triggers a PowerShell-based infection chain. In corporate domain-joined environments, the attack deploys ModelloRat, a Python-based remote access tool capable of reconnaissance, command execution, persistence, and payload delivery. Huntress attributes the activity to a threat actor known as Kong-Tuk and warns the campaign signals growing interest in enterprise networks. IT distributor Ingram Micro disclosed a ransomware-related data breach affecting over 42,000 individuals after detecting a cyber intrusion in early July of last year. The company said attackers accessed internal file repositories and stole employment and applicant records containing personal and government-issued identification data. Ingram Micro notified authorities, alerted affected individuals, and offered 2 years of credit monitoring. While the company did not name the attackers, the ransomware group SafePay later claimed responsibility, alleging it stole 3.5 terabytes of data, claims that remain unverified. A Jordanian national has pleaded guilty in U.S. federal court to selling stolen access to corporate networks, underscoring the central role access brokers play in cybercrime operations. The Department of Justice said Faraz Kali Ahmad Abashiti, also known as Riz, admitted selling unauthorized login credentials tied to at least 50 victim organizations while operating from Georgia. According to prosecutors, al-Bashiti stole the credentials for cryptocurrency on a cybercrime forum in May 2023. The buyer was an undercover law enforcement officer. Investigators say the access provided direct entry into compromised corporate systems and exceeded the legal value threshold under federal fraud statutes. The case was led by the FBI, with extradition support coordinated by the Department of Justice. Sentencing is scheduled for May 2026. Turning to our business breakdown, we are highlighting over $350 million raised across 7 investments, alongside 5 acquisitions. On the investment front, Israeli AI security operations company Torque raised $140 million in a Series D round. Now being valued at $1.2 billion, Torque plans to use these new funds to continue expanding the capabilities of its SOC platform and grow its market presence. Additional Novi emerged from stealth after raising $51.5 million across 3 funding rounds. After raising $8.5 million in a seed round in May of last year, $33 million in a Series A round in September, and $10 million in debt financing in December, the Israeli offensive security company is looking to scale AI penetration testing. For acquisitions, CrowdStrike completed 2 separate acquisitions for a total of $1.1 billion. With these moves, CrowdStrike has acquired both Seraphic, an Israeli browser runtime security provider, and Signal, a US-based IAM provider. CrowdStrike intends to use both acquisitions to further support its Falcon platform by incorporating new AI and next-gen capabilities. That wraps up this week's Business Breakdown. For deeper analysis on major business moves shaping the cybersecurity landscape, subscribe to N2K Pro and check out the CyberWire.com every Wednesday for the latest updates. Coming up after the break, Tim Starks from Cyberscoop discusses Sean Planke's renomination to lead CISA, and there's grave oversight in the funeral biz. Stick around. Ever wished you could rebuild your network from scratch to make it more secure, scalable, and simple? Meet Meter, the company reimagining enterprise networking from the ground up. Meter builds full-stack, zero-trust networks, including hardware, firmware, and software, all designed to work seamlessly together. The result? Fast, reliable, and secure connectivity without the constant patching, vendor juggling, or hidden costs. From wired and wireless to routing, switching, firewalls, DNS security, and VPN, every layer is integrated and continuously protected in one unified platform. And since it's delivered as one predictable monthly service, you skip the heavy capital costs and endless upgrade cycles. Meter even buys back your old infrastructure to make switching effortless. Transform complexity into simplicity and give your team time to focus on what really matters, helping your business and customers thrive. Learn more and book your demo at meter.com/cyberwire. That's meter.com/cyberwire. What's your 2 a.m. security worry? Is it, do I have the right controls in place? Maybe, are my vendors secure? Or the one that really keeps you up at night, how do I get out from under these old tools and manual processes? That's where Vanta comes in. Vanta automates the manual work so you can stop sweating over spreadsheets, chasing audit evidence, and filling out endless questionnaires. Their trust management platform continuously monitors your systems, centralizes your data, and simplifies your security at scale. And it fits right into your workflows, using AI to streamline evidence collection, flag risks, and keep your program audit ready, all the time. With Vanta, you get everything you need to move faster, scale confidently, and finally, get back to sleep. Get started at vanta.com/cyber. That's VANTA.com/cyber. Tim Starks is senior reporter at Cyberscoop, and it is always my pleasure to welcome back to the show. Tim, hello there, sir.
Hello there, sir.
So, first of all, Happy New Year. Welcome to 2026 in all of its glory.
It's amazing so far, right?
Right. I want to start off with, I guess, what I can only describe as a surprising story to me, which is that Sean Planke is back in the mix to head CISA. You reported on this. What's going on here, Tim?
It's a little surprising to me, too, because pretty much his nomination was left for dead by basically everybody I knew.
Yeah.
So it's a little confusing. It's a little mystifying where this leads us next. But the White House has said to me that they are committed to him. Obviously, renominating him suggests that that's the case. It does leave a pretty big question about how in the world does he get this job with what had been going on in the Senate.
Mm-hmm. And, well, I mean, let's recap here. My understanding is that his nomination getting struck down, let's say, wasn't so much about him, but about senators holding it up for other reasons. Is that an accurate description?
It's mostly accurate. I think to the extent that in one of the cases, the North Carolina Senate delegation, both Republicans, by the way, all Republicans holding him up for the most part. There are Democrats. There's a Democrat that's holding up for another reason, but that seems less important right now. The Republicans from North Carolina are holding him up over disaster aid. They're holding up all DHS nominees. They're saying that they need Kristi Noem to come testify to Senate Judiciary. That's an example. I think the bigger one that everyone had identified for me is that Senator Rick Scott from Florida, also a Republican, had held up his nomination over Coast Guard contract for a contractor in his state. They got partially canceled, worth many billions of dollars. And that doesn't seem to be tractable right now. Is that a right word? Because it's intractable.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem tractable right now. And I guess the reason that he's connected to that in any way, shape, or form is that he's been serving as a special advisor to the Coast Guard. Sean Planky is an old coastie. So that is a connection, the work he has been doing. But this was Kristi Noem's decision, not his. So how much can you blame him for it? I don't know. So it's not exactly unconnected, but it's not very connected either.
Yeah. What kind of timeline do you suppose we're on here for this going one way or another?
I mean, that's a really good question, Dave. One of my colleagues, with our story, we caught up with Sean Planky. He was out at an event. He was representing the Coast Guard for an event, and we caught up to him, and we asked him what are you going to do to lift these holds to convince senators to support you, and Sean's response was kind of like, not up to me. It's up to the White House. If the White House shows that they're invested, then I can probably move forward. So it seems like he's at his wit's end, or at least it sounded that way to us, about what can happen, what might happen next with him, and that it's out of his control is the way he seems to feel.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you think if the White House renominates him, then they're certainly literally doubling down on their belief in him.
Right. Yeah. And the president's hold on the Republican Party has been pretty remarkable, even by the standards of what we expected it to be coming in, I think. And so it's surprising in the sense that, here we have multiple Republicans holding up a nomination. And I'm of the mind maybe that, if they did wanted to exert some more pressure, they could and would, but maybe they decided not to spend their political capital on this. But, why renominate him if you're not going to do everything you can to get him through?
Right. Well, shifting gears here, you had a story just a few days ago about some software that CISA was offering that had its own vulnerabilities. What's going on with this one, Tim?
Yeah, this was an interesting one. There was a researcher who found a vulnerability that was in a rather, do I want to say ironic place? It was a
high-profile place.
Yeah. There's a tool that CISA has on its website that helps government agency folk purchase secure software. And when you go to the website and poke around on there, as this researcher did, that website, that tool itself had a vulnerability. Cross-site scripting, it's called, and XSS is what a lot of people call it. The vulnerability might have allowed the people who would have planted an attack on that site to attack others. It might have led to the website being defaced. The other thing that stands out about this, beyond the irony, if you will, is the fact that, this researcher told me, his name's Jeff Williams, he told me that this was something that could have been fixed in 5 minutes, and that it demonstrated that they had really nobody doing the kind of work they need to be doing, just sort of basic website stuff that is pretty easy to fix. They had nobody really doing that. And that it took months for them to fix it. It took from September to December for it to get fixed.
Any word from CISA as to why it took so long?
Yeah, they didn't say why it took so long. I mean, I think, he had a good answer, at least on part of this, Jeff Williams did, about the fact that that September timeframe, that's when the government was about to shut down. So that makes a certain amount of sense. Although, he said this probably could have been a 5-minute fix. I mean, they have a bug bounty program. There's a bug bounty program through BugCrowd. BugCrowd says this wasn't a critical enough vulnerability for them to pay out over it. And then once he got the attention of CISA, maybe they just decided it was low priority. But once the shutdown happened, well, all bets were off. I mean, CISA did tell me that they appreciated the researcher contacting them. They got it fixed. That actually helped them fix and be aware for some other risks, and that this was an example of the process working, essentially.
Okay. All's well that ends well, right?
Everything's perfect. As we know, all is well, and it's going to stay well.
There you go. All right. Well, Tim Starks is senior reporter at Cyberscoop. Tim, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Dan.
When it comes to mobile application security, good enough is a risk. A recent survey shows that 72% of organizations reported at least one mobile application security incident last year, and 92% of responders reported threat levels have increased in the past 2 years. GuardSquare delivers the highest level of security for your mobile apps without compromising performance, time to market, or user experience. Discover how GuardSquare provides industry-leading security for your Android and iOS apps at www.guardsquare.com. And finally, in Korea, 8 affiliates of the Kyowan Group are now under government investigation after a ransomware attack reminded everyone that even the funeral business is not immune to cybercrime. The incident exposed a quieter problem. The funeral industry's security posture appears to be built more on tradition than on modern safeguards. Data from the Korea Internet and Security Agency shows that none of the country's top funeral service providers have obtained the government's Information Security Management System certification, not because they failed, but because they're not required to try. Funeral companies sit in a regulatory gap, handling data on nearly 10 million subscribers and trillions in prepaid funds, while remaining outside rules applied to banks, platforms, or e-commerce firms. Experts say ransomware groups favor exactly this combination: steady cash flow, sensitive data, and thin defenses. Lawmakers now argue it may be time for the industry to plan not just for final arrangements, but for basic cybersecurity hygiene, too. And that's the CyberWire. For links to all of today's stories, check out our daily briefing at thecyberwire.com. We'd love to know what you think of this podcast. Your feedback ensures we deliver the insights that keep you a step ahead in the rapidly changing world of cybersecurity. If you like our show, please share a rating and review in your favorite podcast app. Please also fill out the survey in the show notes or send an email to cyberwire@n2k.com. N2K's senior producer is Alice Carruth. Our CyberWire producer is Liz Stokes. We're mixed by Trey Hester with original music by Elliot Peltzman. Our executive producer is Jennifer Iben. Peter Kilpie is our publisher, and I'm Dave Bittner. Thanks for listening. We'll see you back here tomorrow. If you only attend one cybersecurity conference this year, make it RSAC 2026. It's happening March 23rd through the 26th in San Francisco, bringing together the global security community for 4 days of expert insights, hands-on learning, and real innovation. I'll say this plainly, I never miss this conference. The ideas and conversations stay with me all year. Join thousands of practitioners and leaders tackling today's toughest challenges and shaping what comes next. Register today at rsaconference.com/cyberwire26. I'll see you in San Francisco.